Good evening, good evening. Welcome to the world famous, award winning Beer in a Conversation. I am your host, co-host for the evening, Mr. Music Monk ATL. To my left, my brother Rashid. On the couch, DJ Agony. What's up with you, brother?
Yeah! Hey, look who done found their way back. Step, Cleat Avenue.
With a blue.
Y'all know who it is, a two-time ATL's hottest to God, DJ Agony, also known as Dr. Dope. Where our motto is, on the building. What's good with y'all fellas?
Hey man, it's good to have you out, man. I'm like, yo, I got the call from our esteemed host, Brother Laris. We see you out there, man. Appreciate you, man. We gonna definitely represent for you.
No doubt.
And he was like, Monk, man, do your thing, man. You know what I mean? I know things kind of been a little serious lately. You know what I mean? We want to talk about some music. So he posted, and he had a particular list, and he had some female artists that are iconic. And I don't really want to go too much into that, but I know we had a conversation last night, right? So let's just kind of just get right into it. We had a conversation last night, and you mentioned some feelings that you had about a particular female rapper. So let's just go ahead and dive into it, man. Meg Thee Stallion, man. What you got for me, bro?
Yeah, so, I mean, I was accused of being a hater. I was told that I was out of touch. I don't really listen to her music. That's why I don't see the genius in it, and that how she's just totally revamped the female hip-hop genre. And I'm like, it all sounds the same to me. It really does, because I'm trying. I've listened to a lot of Meg Thee Stallion. Think about it, as a DJ, I'm forced to listen to a lot of it. I'm forced to play it. So it just all sounds the same. I could literally sit there for an hour and play Meg Thee Stallion and the Baby back and forth for an hour.
And nothing change. Nah, I feel you on that. You know what? I like the balance. I like the balance in that comparison, because a lot of times you can't speak on certain artists without it being, oh, you don't like women, or you're hating on her because of that.
Exactly. And
it has nothing to do with that.
I've been hit with that before. It was like, well, you don't say that with the Baby, and he do the same thing. Yes, I do.
Yeah, we do. As a matter of fact,
I like him equally as less as Meg Thee Stallion.
When was the last time, for real, outside of the Dua Lipa feature, that he got a shit ton of money for, and then the obvious, snafu with the comments at Rolling Loud? You haven't really heard from the Baby, like, you know what I'm saying, that much.
It'd be smart if he stayed out of trouble. He trying his best to get that calendar thrown at him.
But I mean, I kind of feel like if you look at it, one artist, let's talk about Meg. Let's talk about how Meg has been able to say whatever she's wanted to, whatever comes to mind, whether or not it's been aimed at Tory Lanez, whether or not it's been aimed at Carl Crawford and 1501, whether or not it's been aimed at Rock. Now she's shooting shots at Rock Nation. She's literally allowed to get away with saying whatever with no accountability, and then the Baby says something, and then he does apologize for it, but it seems like the fall from grace and the climb, the climb back up, it just seems to be a lot steeper for certain artists.
Well, the thing is, we ain't seen her get into a fist fight at a bowling alley lately either, so.
Touche.
That doesn't help.
Touche.
You know what?
I just can't take a female seriously who calls herself a stallion.
A stallion.
Which is a male horse that still has his balls.
I've been so seriously.
It's hard to be serious after that.
That's really been one of the main complaints. You know what I mean? So when I saw, who was that? Was that Maxine Waters? Mm-hmm. When Maxine Waters gave her an award, I think she gave her like some sort of commendation, or maybe like a key to the city or something down there in Houston.
Wow.
For exactly.
Our talents have changed.
For what? For what? So I'm really interested to see how her career sustained itself, because my whole argument with Meg Thee Stallion is like, look, if you were really shot, I feel as though the marketing campaign would have been a lot easier to maximize, because if you have an artist that's been shot, a woman that's been shot, victim of domestic violence, you could actually use that and create a documentary, record an album. There's so many ways that you can market that.
Lifetime.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, she could really
Netflix.
eat for a long time off of this. The fact that none of that actually happened and they kept scrambling to try to create a narrative lets me know. And now we have eyewitnesses that are coming out and saying that it was two women that were fighting. There was a gunshot, but the muzzle flash came closer to in close proximity to her friend Kelsey. Her and Kelsey are no longer talking. You know what I mean? Like so much stuff is adding up to the fact that it sounds like she got drunk at Kylie Jenner's party. Mm-hmm. She was told to leave. I guess she found that Tory was smashing her and the friend, right? Maybe, presumably, right? Mm-hmm. I think at this point it's okay to presume. And then they leave, and then they get into another heated. Now let's think. Now Meg Thee Stallion is like 5'11". Mm-hmm. She a solid 220, y'all. For real. She for real. She hey. She a solid 220.
Yeah, it's not a compliment.
Tory Lane is not. Tory Lane's for real is like 5'6". Like
5'6".
I'm gonna give him 5'6", bro. Cause I'm 5'6" and 3/4, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
I'll give him 5'4" to be real, but yeah, he a little dude.
But the point is that between him and Kelsey, like there's not a lot of size back there against her. When she decides that she wants to go start bucking like a bronco.
The horse references. I'm loving it. Keep it going.
I'm just saying,
Drive a
man.
Mustang.
Maybe her new album should be called Equestrian Dreams. No, too much. Equestrian Dreams. No. Okay.
I think maybe her career needs to take a furlough.
Ooh, big time. Majorly.
Because there's more and more evidence that just comes out that at the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, like she needs to be held accountable for assassinating this dude's character. Like Tory Lanez lost a lot. Like there are a lot of people that jumped on the bandwagon and was threatening him and saying this and saying that. Now it's starting. Now that the story is unraveling, like there's a lot of silence. There's just a lot of crickets from people that are so quick to condemn. But that's another that's another aspect of this cancel culture that I don't subscribe to at all.
They were racing to jump on it like the Kentucky Derby, huh?
Yeah, right. Like immediately, don't even know the odds. Like fuck the odds. You know what I'm saying? Like I put my money on the sleepy horse.
I'm trying to tell you. Nah, I want that.
Heard that on TV one time, right?
Sleepy horse.
Yeah, I heard. Look. The dark horse. That's what they call it, the dark horse.
I wonder if there's a Gallup poll on her popularity.
They keep trying to force feed her down our throats because her albums don't sell. And how she get all these Grammys but nothing sells, bro? Like I don't get that.
Singles. Yeah. It ain't about album sales no more. It's really single streams.
It is when you're talking about album of the year, when you're talking about the real coveted awards, the industry standard awards, yes, your album does matter. Don't let these projects and mixtapes
but if you think about
singles fool you.
Who's for real out here putting out albums like that?
Confident artists that make real music. They can go in a lab and really make music. Like Kendrick put out a real album this year.
Kendrick's been putting out real albums for over 10 years now. So,
but rather not how long he's been doing it is irrelevant to the fact that he's doing it in the modern era. Like he actually could have been like, you know what? I want to ride the way like everybody else. Let me do a bullshit project or a mixtape and.
But you know they ain't gonna happen. You seen what school he came from?
Cause he a real ass artist. You know what I'm saying? Meg Thee Stallion's problem is that she won't let someone cultivate her talent. It takes a little minute to be a seasoned artist out here, but she won't let anybody do it. She doesn't believe anyone's really capable of doing it.
I mean, I
she
think
has
we gave
Nate
it to
instincts.
Say it again.
She has Nate instincts.
I caught the. Hey man, we are some intelligent idiots up here.
This is happening tonight, y'all.
For real. So I don't even honestly I kind of feel bad. The subject was so polarizing. Whether or not I had people that were really choosing sides. Like you would have thought that this was a political election or something like that. I mean, people were really choosing sides.
The political elections have sucked lately.
Do you feel like Tory? Yeah, like if you really felt like for real, like if you were like about 3 months ago, 5-6 months, if you were a guy and you said I don't think Tory shot her, you know the pussy dried up on you. It might have dried up on you.
Walked off.
It was problematic. Tory's problematic, but now that Meg's is showing proving herself to be problematic, there's a lot of fucking crickets.
But at the same time,
Ain't no crickets here.
There was a lot of women that rolled for Tory. Believe it or not.
They must have hit them way down at the bottom of the comment section.
I know quite a few that rolled for
The
Tory.
algorithm was not kind to those ladies.
You know, they was that big line. He shot her while she was twerking on IG a week later, when it was really like 3 days later. But yeah,
stop misquoting Malcolm X. Like, stop. Don't use no more Malcolm X's audio archived audio records of him talking about how the black woman is the most unprotected and like, stop doing that. Stop taking it out of context, because he did not mean for you to start twerking.
A week after you
got
shot
in both feet, not feet.
Oh, wait a minute. It was
in both feet. She said the original story was she got shot in both feet.
I thought she only got shot in one.
Man, bro, if she didn't get shot at all. Look. Police, look. A surgeon who removes bullet fragments by law, like, that's real evidence. They don't lose that shit. You don't just lose that shit because it's a part of an active investigation.
That's ballistics.
Where is it? It got lost?
I took it to the house.
A black man, look, we accusing a black man of shooting a woman and the evidence got lost?
Right, you know that ain't happening.
Next subject. What you got? What you got for me, man? What you got for me? Hey man, it's always good to, man. How long have we been talking music like in front of a camera, bro? How long have we been doing this?
In front of a camera, not long enough.
Yeah, I feel you.
But you remember we was right here when I had my first hip hop panel.
Yeah.
That was back 2018.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
Yeah, good times right there, man. Like I said, we should have been doing this.
Yeah, I mean, it's always comfortable to talk to people with a musical acumen. You know what I mean? Like that like, it's not it's never a competition. No one knows. It's not about like who knows what. I said, look, 2 years ago I made a comment, right? I made a statement, and I'm going to remember this statement forever because I learned so much about, like, because I feel like all of us can be a music monk, right? So I made a statement. I already know how he's about to react, but I said that Sir Mix-a-Lot was a one-hit wonder, and I learned. Yeah, bro, I learned so much, bro. Like, I learned, man. Like, I really learned, man.
Ooh,
I knew.
Think about Swats, Posses on Broadway. These are the songs. These were the hits before Baby Got Back. Hey, you gotta think Swats made him a gajillionaire because the Pussycat Dolls sampled it.
So, like I said,
Agony.
I was but that's the whole thing about being a music monk. It's just about being a student, man. You just gotta just learn, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never feel bad for not knowing. I never feel bad for not knowing.
I tell my students that, man. It's not about not knowing. It's about not trying
and not asking.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. As long as you give me effort, I got you.
So, I just want to just pose a question. Why, so what do we really think is going on with just the high number of deaths, rappers dying in the past? Let's call it 36 months. And I'm going out 36 months for a reason, to kind of create this little.
I can tell you that they out here trying to live the lyrics. It's like it's so many rappers that they rap the hardcore gangster life and then they went back to the suburbs. But these idiots out here really think like, yo, I really gotta be out here doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you just got to the point you're rich now. You made a record, you rich. Get out the hood. Like, that's the whole goal of being in the hood, is to try to get out the hood. Y'all run back to the damn hood and then do hood shit. No, you get out the hood. You get your mama out the hood. You go do suburban shit.
Right.
Get a clothing line. Play golf.
Get a clothing line.
Yes. You don't. It's not like it don't make sense to be a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, and decide, you know what? Now I'm gonna start gangbanging. That's so ass backwards.
Quando Rondo, rapper out of Atlanta by way of Augusta, Georgia.
Not Augusta.
Augusta, Georgia, right on the cusp of South Carolina. On the cusp. Yeah, man. So, out there in LA last week. No, actually not even last week. It was actually a couple of days ago. It was actually earlier this week, or over the weekend. Gets ambushed. One of his close friends is pronounced dead on the scene. I mean, there's actual footage. You can actually hear and see Quando Rondo visibly upset, crying, shaking, emotional, and you immediately just start to think of around this time last year, it was a shootout right there on Trinity, and King Von was the one that lost his life. Now, King Von and his people it was in self-defense, but the problem is that Quando Rondo's, like, his camp allegedly, or him, like, they were like disrespecting the dead after the fact. Unfortunately, I feel like, and I hate that it's like this, and I don't know whether or not it's easy. I don't know whether or not it's easier to put out to put it. I don't know whether or not it's easier to get a rapper, put an insurance policy on them, have them rap about guns and violence, and then put a hit on them, and then collect the money. I don't know if it's easier to do that or if it's real beef.
It's like a quick flip.
I don't know, but it's so hard to tell if it's real beef or if it's, if it's like, let's collect on this insurance money type.
Who the fuck would insure a fucking rapper these days?
Because they go
outside of like a Will Smith motherfucker, like what idiot would even
But you know what?
underwrite that policy?
I could see that. Well, I get it. You talking about from the insurance?
Yeah, what insurer would actually
use it real name, and then you be alright. Like, don't put Quando. You put like Calvin Jordan on the papers.
Yeah, but at some point though, you got to demonstrate his value. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point,
it's many records.
yeah, I'm just saying at some point they if they're doing some due diligence.
I think the valuation is placed on the ownership of the masters and how they're used posthumously.
Oh yeah, because Pop made somebody rich.
Like Pop, it was probably 50 Cent.
Really?
It was probably, man, like.
Was he even signed when he died?
I mean, they had some sort of management deal or something like that.
No.
Oh. No. Pop Smoke.
Oh, sorry.
50 Cent's on Sunday nights.
Is it? All right. You see how far out of the loop I am.
But 50 Cent did an interview, and he was just talking about how he wished that he was I guess more involved with Pop Smoke or something like that. But I don't know, like, it's really, really hard to tell when there's really no one there's no one to trust in the industry. But like I said, I definitely think that there's a hell of a lot of money to be made on that. Hell of a lot of money to be made on those artists. But
absolutely.
So, I'm not sure if Quando Rondo is gonna be able to really like tour, be able to go anywhere. Because I'm like, the shooting happened in Atlanta. You killed King Von in Atlanta.
I thought it was like in like South Georgia, somewhere like Macon.
Yeah,
No. That was off of Trinity Ave. That was right in front of right in front of the chocolate bar, like right across from like Peter Street, down the street from half a block from Old Lady Gang.
Oh no, I thought he was in Macon.
Nah, bro, that happened right around the corner, man.
Say, 'cause you get shot in Macon and they just call it Saturday.
Damn, that's harsh.
I mean, it's Macon.
That's harsh.
Shouts out to Mactown.
So unfortunately, it seems like being a rapper is like the world's most dangerous profession. Unnecessarily.
They make it that way though. They make it that way. Go in there, and make your music, and go home. Because you got to think, we grew up with rappers that were for real gangbangers before they were rappers. I've never, like, MC8's not dead, DJ Quick's not dead.
No.
Snoop caught a charge, but he ain't dead.
No.
I mean, we can even go to some of the younger dudes like Schoolboy Q, Kendrick, like, you leave that part of your life behind once you move into something else. Now, you can still go back to the hood, but it's like, don't make that a part of life no more. Go back, you visit, you say, hey, it get about 7:30, take it back to the burbs.
I think it's worth noting that. I mean, I think it's fair to say that, like, what really kicked off and mainstreamed a lot of the stuff was NWA. And the two brains behind NWA were Dre and Cube, who were not gangbangers at all.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, it is funny how that works.
But Easy and Ren were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and Ren wrote his own lyrics, but Cube wrote Eazy's lyrics.
He wrote.
Like, I mean, they were the brain trust behind NWA. I mean, obviously they did some stuff after both of them, but still.
Right.
So to kind of keep this on par with the topic, so reaching back to the old school and looking at the erosion of our culture by way of music, like, so And I mean, of course, it's a living conversation, right? So we can always add tidbits. We can always see certain shifts in the culture,
and it changes every day.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. But you know what? Pause. Let me just say something real quick. So Offset is suing QC. I gotta throw that in here.
Really?
Yeah, I gotta throw this in here because
this is news to me. I gotta hear this.
Yeah. The Migos are done. The Migos are done. Yeah, Migos are done. Yeah, but they already done a performance and the performance title for them it wasn't Migos, it was Quavo and Offset. So pretty much Migos is done. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think they'll ever perform as a trio again. They real family though. Of course they real family. Blood related, but I didn't know that Offset had been suing QC, had been trying to sue them for like 6 years.
What's the problem?
Because I think he wants to get from underneath that imprint, that umbrella, separate himself from the Migos, do what I mean, or maybe that Migos brand. Because I mean, and I made this comment last week. You know, Culture 3 and actually Culture 2 and Culture 3 didn't really do anything. They were just called Culture. It was the same. It was pretty much a carryover from what they were doing from the first album.
I mean, wasn't nothing.
Takeoff's lyrically was the best. Sonically, Quavo and Travis Scott's album was the best sonically, and then Offset had
Travis Scott. He like a cheat code though.
But obviously, but Offset honestly had the most well-rounded project. Like anytime you put Big Rube on your project, I'm fucking with it.
I mean, yeah,
I'm fucking with it.
No bias intended.
I'm fucking with it. Rube, shout out, man. Hey, man, we still gonna do some business, man. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it. Dude. So I just want to drop that out there real quick.
He's suing QC, trying to get from under that umbrella.
I don't know whether or not it's some contractual stuff that's not allowed. Because I would assume that P has a really, really tight contract on them in terms of what they can use in terms of likeness, in terms of what they can use in terms of probably even the triplet flow. The triplet flow might even be in the contract for you know what I'm saying, in P's contract.
Really?
I would think so. After Versace, you know what I'm saying, after the success of Versace and Culture One, I mean, I know there's a space in between those, but I'm saying like how the triplet flow evolved was from Versace up to Culture, right? Somewhere that shit started to permeate the rest of the culture. I think with them being the ones that felt like that they were the gatekeepers of it, I would kind of think that P would have some sort of clause in there to where you can't like maybe almost in perpetuity that you can't use anything that was created within those masters. I think that's what Offset's trying to get. I think he can't. I don't, because the music that him and Quavo is doing. It doesn't. Quavo's ad libs still sound like Migos, right. But what Offset is doing with him doesn't really sound quite like Migos. I might be missing something, but I'm definitely gonna keep my ear to the Apple Music at midnight tonight and see what it's hitting on. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to drop that because I mean I rock with, like, I'm not really like a super big hip hop like rap Atlanta into all of it fan, just because I feel like some of it was just like, I mean, some of it is just detrimental to my earlobes. You know what I'm saying? And
that shit bad
just
too.
To my mindset. Yeah, this nigga says, yeah, this shit bad.
yeah.
But I respected what they were able to do, and they actually completed the directional, the cardinal compass of Atlanta. Like, it's really hard to do in a city, to have artists that are big from north, south, east, and west in one city. So when
you look at the north side wasn't known for all that stuff they was talking about. Like they created the north side. That north, as they call it.
You got it, bro. You got to give it to them. Buford Highway Flea Market, bro, all day. You got to give it to them.
I guess.
No.
Look, that's considered north.
The thing is,
it can. That shit can run on. I mean, shit, you nigga, but you hit Buford Highway, but
DeKalb County, ain't it?
But you hit Buford Highway, bro. Buford
That just
Highway will
got
run you
away.
all that shit. It'll run you all the way to Lawrenceville Highway through Decatur. It's shit long, bro.
I don't know. North just sounds a little, I don't know, whatever.
Right,
I mean,
I'm not saying
we're not talking
that-
about
no.
North Memphis.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
we're talking about
they-
Gwinnett County, like.
They represent Lawrenceville for real.
Right, but I don't
Sugarloaf.
But here's the thing, like, I mean, what's like, I mean, okay, everybody hit up in the high school. Like, did you feel scared when y'all played Burkmar?
For different reasons. For different reasons, though.
school you go to.
Right? Yeah, for different reasons. Yeah, he's talking
But you
shit,
know,
man. We
I
never.
mean, but at the same time, when,
Parkview.
when y'all got to go from when we got to come from the County to Lakewood Stadium to play Banneker, it's like, all right, let's just make it home.
Yeah.
That really happened.
Panthersville, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah,
all
yeah.
that, you know what I mean?
You know, so Burkmar, Parkview, like those were nice places. But they were successful in pulling the wool over to make it seem like they were some hardcore gutter dudes.
I mean, I ain't gonna. I done seen a lot of houses in the suburbs get shot up. So that's just, you know, and I ain't talking about just in recent times.
Probably shooting up heroin or fentanyl.
No, I'm talking about shooting. Them boys be shooting. You know how personal that shit gotta be, bro? Like, you really know where a motherfucker live at, bro. Like, for real. So you gonna pull up. It ain't no, I'm just gonna pull up to the block. I'm pulling up to your driveway, my nigga. Like, it's different. Like, that's way more
But
personal.
they got a driveway that you got to hit the buzzer on the outside, and then somebody got to let you in the gate. Then you got to pull around the big horseshoe.
Yeah, you probably gonna get pulled over on Sugarloaf Parkway before you.
Highly likely. Highly likely.
Cause your tag gonna say Clayco, and they gonna be like, no,
Right, no.
Clayco, no.
Right. It's like, yeah, I'm finna go do some dirt, man. I'm driving up to Steve Reynolds tonight.
Nah, bruh, turn your ass right the fuck back around, bruh. So yeah, man. So
I mean, you can't claim that area hood. They got a Dave and Buster's. There's nothing gangster about Dave and Buster's. That shit fun.
nigga, in 3 years, main event on Cobb Parkway gonna be gangster.
Well, you said Carl Park. Well, that's a whole nother set of problems.
Hey,
those
bruh.
are Marietta problems. We talking about Gwinnett problems.
Bruh, hey man, it's not that much difference. If you look at demographics, it ain't that much difference.
Man, look, 3 years of Marietta is enough for me. I don't never have to go back to that place. Is it still there? Is Marietta still there? It's still up there?
Yeah. It's called the Battery.
Ain't doubt it.
I always hang up when I do it. I don't know how to do it. I was just
Dominoes.
pushing that one button. Welcome to Beer in the Conversation. This is Music Monk. How can I help you?
Now, I heard y'all talking about Parkview. You know.
Oh goddamn!
You know.
We talked about Brook. I was about to talk about Brookwood too.
Well, that's what I'm Brookwood.
I know. We know. Introduce yourself to the people, man. Introduce yourself to your audience.
Oh, okay. My name is Larry. I be careful getting the whole government out, but I got to say this. Listen, man, that's some truth to that, man. When you get to a certain point, man, everybody wants to get what's quiet, clean, clear. You can move around and not look over your shoulder. Now, that ain't me. But I can tell you this. A lot, man, listen, being in politics and being out here, I'm going to tell you something, man. Some of the biggest gangsters out of that. I can't say anything else.
But yeah. Oh, I believe
You called in here to brag on some goddamn Parkview. That's why you called in and interrupt this amazing show. Then you go to Stevenson.
You go to Stevenson?
I did. I went to Morehouse, too.
I think Stevenson opened up like my junior year. When Stevenson opened up? 98? 97, 98?
Like 96, 97. Something like that.
What do you mean? What year? I started in 96.
We know. But you act like you started in 56.
86, goddamn.
See, you know, I'm going to let y'all finish, man.
Thank you. Bye. Get off my show. Get out my show.
I bet you get hung up on your own shit. I love it.
I'm like, oh, no, I ain't doing this like that.
Hey man, hang up the phone.
Is he got the radio on listening to?
Hang up the phone.
Larry's over there with a transistor, man. What the hell
Right.
going on?
Hey man, hey man, my boy, my brother, appreciate you, man. Love you. Thank you for calling in, man. But don't call here, don't call my house no more with that shit. Talking about some damn Park View. How you gonna call from where you at to talk about some damn Park View? This is a music show, like. So anyway, so the whole point is the whole show that the topic that he came up with was, what happened to the old school? Like, how do we lose our way, right? I don't really know if it's one particular thing, but let me just ask you this: in 2022, and I'm gonna ask both of you guys this. Mm-hmm. In terms of music, consumption and like how you get your music, right? What inspires you the most? Like what are you looking for? Are you looking for an artist that you hear a lot? Or are you looking for an artist, or do you like music that you kind of stumble across? Because I think it's kind of hard to really search for music without stumbling across so much music in between. So how are you guys going about like what you guys are listening to right now? And then I want to know what is your what are your albums of the summer right now? Doesn't have to be a new release, but just like what's in the rotation as we enter into the Indian summer version.
What you got, Sheed?
Well, my album of the summer is my father's 2000 album, Sunday Brunch, which I've been listening to a lot lately. Also, there's a great Rolling Stones compilation called Hot Rocks, which is like the Stones from like 67 through 74 or something like that, which is just peak Stones.
Something like it. Yeah. That's Heyday right there.
Yeah.
Keith Richards was still 70.
I don't really listen to a lot of new stuff, to be honest with you. If I do, I might be like watching a commercial and then I'll hear something and like try to figure out what I'm hearing if it sounds interesting. The closest I come to the discovery is maybe on Apple Music. They like put together these mixes that are like based on what you listen to.
Right. Yeah, my favorites list is like Ghetto Gold.
Yeah, every now and then I check that out. But the older I've gotten, I listen to a fair amount of stuff. It's like you said last week, man. I mean, a lot of the shit I grew up with is just some ignorant bullshit I just don't listen to anymore.
All right.
And so, a lot of what I listen to is really just like instrumental stuff. Like, I'm really into like deep groove stuff or like 2000s like Europop type stuff. So it's
is
real
that like techno?
No, it's not techno. Some of it, and it's not even super. Maybe it's a little danceable. I don't know, but it's. I'm trying to think of a song I could name that fits the genre. You ever heard a song called Is it 19? Crap, I don't even remember the name of it. It's by a group called Phoenix, a French group. Yeah, so there are a few French groups. There's Phoenix, there's Air, there's Daft Punk.
Daft Punk.
But I think Air,
Daft Punk French dudes.
Yeah, I think Air and Phoenix are probably more along the lines of what I'm talking about. Daft Punk is a different thing. I mean, that's more. It's not techno. Technically, their first album is probably a little more techno. They've been all over the place, but anyway, it's really light kind of music, but light, catchy music. But not quite as like manufactured as not super auto-tuney and not. It's clearly not just coming out of like a crank factory like a lot of American.
It's not formulaic.
Yeah,
I got you.
So yeah, I don't have anything more interesting to say. I mean, that's pretty much.
No, I mean that was enough. So I'm definitely going to check out this. I feel like I want to check out that Stones compilation because I know why you like it. Obviously because they're youthful, but the music is a lot tighter at that point. You know what I mean? A lot tighter.
You said 67 through
74, yeah.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah. They were in their bag at that point.
Jagger wasn't really Jagger then. He was still they were still a group. Like at this point, like probably.
They still had that British sound there, didn't they?
Yes.
I mean, well, that's the thing is that the Stones are, and it's funny because I had a conversation with my dad a while back about like why it's 64 to 71, why I like the Stones and don't really like the Beatles all that much. And apparently there's this big thing amongst people about whether the Beatles or the Stones are the better band. For me, it's obviously the Stones.
Yeah,
and he gave me a very simple answer.
They had more edge to them.
They definitely had more edge to them. He was like, Stones are a blues band.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I until he said that, it just didn't like that's being like the differentiating thing. Just never really, or it never occurred to me. Yeah, and I go back and listen to in particular the sound like the sound is super bluesy, and I think that's what I appreciate about it the most.
You have to the Stones feel like they knew who they were coming into music.
You think so?
I feel like they had more of an identity of who they were. They still looked a little put together, obviously, when they first came out. But you could tell Jagger and Richard and Keith Richards. You could tell they was about to be on some shit.
I think they had a foundation, but I don't think it was till they got here and really started picking from that blues box.
I feel that. I think with the Beatles really. I almost feel like the Beatles rode a little bit of momentum from the Monkees, because before the Beatles, it was clearly the Monkees, but the Monkees had no real sheer talent. You know what I mean?
It was a gimmick. It was too much of a gimmick.
And some people have said in the studio that the Beatles aren't necessarily the best musicians. You know what I'm saying? I've also heard that about Elvis too. But I wouldn't be surprised. I think Yoko was like their Erica. You know what I'm saying?
We doing that?
Oh man, absolutely. Absolutely. The fuck? You think I'll say my shit.
Some bit.
I'll say my shit.
But I mean, a lot of what I'm catching nowadays, I purposely.
Yeah, what you on, bro? What
purposely went a different direction early in the summer, just because I got to a point to where I just got tired of mainstream music. I canceled a lot of gigs. I passed off a lot of gigs. Big shouts out to all my DJ homies eating right now. Yo, hey, just be knowing where you got that burger from. But yeah, and I said, you know what? I'm going to start listening to stuff I like, and in turn, I'm going to play to people who are into what I like. So, I can't even say 40 and up no more, because a lot of them be trying to pull to what's on the radio now. So I'm more or less talking like 45 and up. Also, in my personal listen, I got really in the house this summer, and it fucked me up.
I can see that.
It fucked me up because I'm sitting up here. I'm gonna do something new and get away from the same crowds. I'm gonna play house music, right? And I'll be damn if 2 weeks later Drake drops a house album. 2 weeks later.
So
I have not heard this album.
And then Beyonce comes out with the Crystal Water sample. And I'm just like, okay, so now it looks like I'm riding the wave. This is beautiful.
To be honest, they're all riding the Amapiano wave. They're all riding that shit. Amapiano music has or South African house music, right? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For most people who haven't heard of Amapiano, but you guys are gonna be hearing about it a lot more. It's basically a tick above good background ambiance music. You'll be able to put Drake on, put Beyonce on, mix the two albums together, and you probably won't really see a difference in any sort of, you probably won't see, you'll see a concept, but it won't be a discernible concept. It'll be the beat is the concept. Mm-hmm. What they're saying is just pretty much like ad-libs over all that shit, right?
They're not saying anything.
Yeah, not saying fucking anything.
Like Beyonce said nothing that last album.
So
she said nothing. So I'm gonna be honest, I call Beyonce's last album a producer's ball. The producers got in there and had a good goddamn time. That is a production funhouse.
I think with Lemonade, I think Beyonce proved that she had the ability to relinquish creative abilities to other producers. Primarily, if you look at if you
Lemonade was songwriting to other songwriters.
No, her and Tyler Perry gonna write everything.
That's where the relinquishing needs to happen.
Just to be clear, Lemonade was
gonna write everything.
That was the Drunken Love album, right?
Yeah.
That was Drunken Love?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the gems on that album though, right?
It has some Ghetto Gold on there. It had some drops on there.
It wasn't even ghetto gold. This shit might have been like yuppie. This shit might have been black yuppie gold. Like for real. Like this man, for real. Like she had some black hipster gold on there for me,
right.
For a cat like me.
Right.
So like if y'all heard the Lemonade album, I don't know. You know, I mean, I listen. I try to give everything a chance, or try to give most things a chance. It's hard to give everything a chance.
No doubt.
Because so much music coming out. Like there's no way they listen to all of that shit, right?
Facts.
But there's a song on Lemonade called Forward, right?
Okay.
That is by one of my most favorite artists of all time, James Blake. James Blake is the white guy. James Blake is what Bobby Caldwell would have been if he actually had more songs than What You Wanna Do for Love. Okay. Or John B. Like for real, I could put Bobby Caldwell and John B together, and it still probably wouldn't match what I think James Blake is going to continue to be for the culture.
Interesting. And
his impact in black music. Also, Ludwig, Childish Gambino's longtime contributor. There's a couple of white guys behind the scenes that are really, really. They're not even projecting they're white. That they're white. You don't even know. It's not like they're Blue Eyed Soul like Alan Stone and Chris Stapleton has some of that. You know what I mean? Like they're not like obviously white people trying to do black music. They're just
what's
doing.
The one that got the shit suit out of Alan Thicke. Robin Thicke.
Alan Thicke. Alan Thicke.
Son.
Right. Don't sue the dad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he passed away anyway. So we lost Alan Thicke. What about 2017, I believe.
Now, did they win that suit?
Absolutely. Marvin Gaye's estate sued the shit out of his ass and won.
And they won. It wasn't a settlement.
And the only person that ain't got to pay
is T.I.
Yep. He the only person that ain't got to pay.
It's always a nigga from the West Side get away with some shit.
He the only one that ain't got to pay. You know what I'm saying? But I had a point with that. And then the other song was she had a song produced by like one of the greatest guitarists from one of the greatest duos from one of the greatest garage rock bands of all time, the White Stripes. She actually got in the studio on Lemonade's album and let Jack White produce a song. And the shit's fire. It sounds like a Jack White produced song. So I like when the artist can go in and say, you know what? Let me do. I think that's one of the reasons why maybe Adele might have said that Lemonade deserved Album of the Year was because she wasn't finna let James Blake and Jack White produce songs for her. But that was more of an obvious move for Adele.
Facts.
But Adele want black babies now, so it's a different. We might get Future on Adele's next album.
God
shit.
Damn.
Hey man, Adele fine though. I ain't gonna lie, man. Fuck the bullshit. Adele fine. Real talk. Anyway.
But yeah, so I got it in the house, and I'm still listening to the classics, man. My playlist go from about 80 to 05, give or take. I mean,
that's 25 years right there.
Yeah, that's my pocket. Well, the era that I call the pocket is like 95 to about 98. That's just
that's the pocket of the golden era of the best era.
That is just where it hits for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, shit. This morning I'm listening to 8 Ball in Our Lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's about where I'm at with it, and a lot of it is, it's something like what Rashid said. Yeah, a lot of that shit is like, okay. I remember as a teenager, Master P was just the hottest shit out, right?
Yeah.
And my brother thought it was garbage. Now, my brother came from the era of KRS, Rakim, Kane, Cool J. So he thought Master P was ass. And I'm like, man, Master P the dopest shit ever. But I'm like 14, 15. I get grown. I listen to Master P, and I'm just like, shit is ass. He ain't talking about nothing. He got a whole song relating it to money, but he talking about collard greens. Literally, collard greens. And my thing is, if nothing else, I still listen to P just because of the nostalgia of it. It still take me back to sneaking a Discman in my hoodie and having the headphones coming up.
Right, yeah, I already know.
And then you
I already
sitting in
know.
class like this.
I already know.
Listening to goddamn ghetto dope.
I already know. I think what Master P benefited from was was exactly what Silk the Shocker didn't have. And there's a particular. No, I'm serious. It's almost down to science. There's a particular frequency in a person's voice that if you stack it the right way, it'll either resonate or you'll reject it. And when Master P stacked his vocals, we fucked with it. Even though he was a terrible rapper, right. There was something about his rapping that was so endearing because he was able to project the pain in that chant through the stacking of his vocals, and you can hear it's definitely a stack. Silk the Shocker stacking of his voice, it's a little bit. He ain't got the tone in his voice to do the stack that he was trying to do, and that shit was like a half beat off.
It was
on
always,
purpose.
It was always off
On purpose.
Or
On
he
purpose.
could do that thing to where he'd be off and then try to rap real fast to catch up to himself. He was never on beat. So to get that frequency that you
songs.
said it again.
I thought P just had catchier songs.
He was catchy. He sampled from everywhere though.
And that like
But
the
he
whole
made sure he was
military
gonna have the
shit,
best.
like he ran that shit into the ground. Just ran the same shit into the ground for like 10 albums.
It did.
It was smart, but I mean, if you look at the blueprint, if you look at how he financed his own movement, like he put up the $200,000-$300,000 to get the distribution deal from Priority. He put that money up himself. You know what I mean?
I fuck with him as an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
If I put up my money, y'all niggas gonna get this Music Month compilation for the next 15 years. I'm shipping out all of them a minimum of like 300,000 copies, which is what he was doing, which was brilliant. Like being able to pre-order and pre-ship, having certified gold and platinum albums just based on the ship. But but he was smart because he was the label, so he knew that if people place these orders, if I could sell 100,000 to Best Buy, spread out another 100,000 to like the mom and pops and you know what I'm saying, in the Southeast, in the, you know what I'm saying, and then maybe get a media play contract, a Walmart a Target contract. That's your $500,000 right there. So shit, y'all sell it.
It's up to y'all to sell it.
But I shipped them.
Right, I've sold 500,000.
Right, you know what I'm saying? My company sold 500,000 copies of. That was brilliant marketing.
But that's
like brilliant marketing.
It's like dope game 200 level class right there.
And that's why I think P is gonna be more of a legend in the culture in terms of like learning how to build a business versus like Baby, I would say.
But I'm gonna be honest with you though.
If we looking at two conglomerates like that, you know what I mean?
Look at a lot of people, and they looking at the now. A lot of people would really still think that Jay-Z is just this mastermind when it came to business, but I'm like, it's P.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
all
P.
day.
It's definitely
all
P.
Day.
It's definitely P. It's
All
definitely
day.
P.
It's P all day. Like I'll never forget the debate that was going on one time. Would you take $250,000 or would you want to have dinner with Jay-Z? And you know there were actual dumbasses out there saying they want to have
did
dinner.
that though. Somebody did. I think someone did something like that, and basically, look, I get it. Making a connection, networking, this, that, and the third. But I ain't gonna lie, a bird in the hand or 250,000 birds in one hand is worth more than what you could even possibly speculate he's going to give you.
But the thing is, folks saw
that nigga
like,
don't fuck with you.
That nigga like, well, if I had this dinner with Jay-Z, instead of having $250,000, he'd teach me how to make $1 billion. No, he's not.
He's not even gonna answer. Look, you won't even have his number.
Dude, the thing is, Jay-Z's gonna come in there, get that shit to go. He'll be there all the 10 minutes. And you can talk as fast as you want. And they be like,
you said that nigga gonna get a to-go plate on your ass.
Mr. Carter.
Hold on. He said he gonna get a to-go plate on your ass, bruh.
We got to pick up order Mr. Carter, and then he out the door. And then you out of 250,000.
That's fucked up,
and then
bruh.
you still got to pay for your own plate.
To go, nigga.
He got to go.
To-go plate?
Nigga, I'm out. I'm coming in here. They were like, will you be down there? Nah, I'm taking it back to the house.
Fuck? Bruh, you know how, nigga, do you know how, bruh? And imagine when you get back home, everybody gonna want to know, bruh, what was it like, bruh? You talking to Jay-Z? You gotta tell these niggas that this nigga got a to-go plate on your ass, bruh.
You be like, he's got a jersey plate.
Yeah.
Only thing you got to show for it is the fact that now you know
he likes jersey plate.
He likes sesame chicken and broccoli.
Woo, shit, man. That nigga got a to-go plate on your ass, bro. You done passed up $250,000 for a $13.95 to-go plate. You done passed up $250K for a styrofoam and a spork, nigga. Not even
you talking
and
about
a sport.
I think Ho's gonna drop something soon, just cause.
I think I actually would like for Hov to drop something. I think there's something about the balance of an artist like Hov whenever he puts something out into the lexicon of music. Like there's it does something. Like it triggers something to happen. You know what I'm saying? So whether or not it's a good project or a bad project or a polarizing project, it's going to have an impact and it's going to trigger some sort. Yeah, it's going to trigger some sort of chain reaction. It might put out a new producer. You might think of a new sample. Because to be honest, no one wants to listen to. I'm tired of luxury rap. I'm tired of the luxury rap of Rick Ross, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Because Beyonce is, she's like 27% rapper. Y'all don't want to give her that credit, but Beyonce is almost a third rapper. She been flexing on y'all for about the past. She been flexing on y'all for a minute, but she don't want to come out and say she a rapper because she's going to get obliterated as a rapper.
Right.
So what you do is you do rap intonations. You know what I'm saying? You don't really do
you're rap-ish.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Rap vocals. Or, you know what I'm saying? Rap vocalizations and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? God damn. Shouts out for rap adjacent artists.
But one album that I've gone back to, and it was a brother put me on this. Big shout out to my brother, Dr. Brewington. Freddie Gibbs dropped the album with
Madlib. Yeah, Madlib. That was last year. That was 2021. 2020.
Not that one. We're talking about one he did in like 19.
Okay.
God, I can't remember the name of the album now, but yeah, he got a song on there with Pusha T called Palmolive. I listen to that shit on repeat just cause.
I think I heard Palmolive.
Yeah, man, look, you done heard Palmolive. You done heard that shit. It's just that got to be one of the coldest samples, one of the coldest beats. And then I found the instrumental album on Apple Music. So yeah, I'm making myself tired of it on purpose. I
am. I've been going back to early in the summer. I went back and revisited 31520. That's Childish Gambino's. I think that was the last album that he owed to Glassnote. So he basically pulled a Mos Def. When Mos Def released True Magic, like he was mad at the label, right? So True Magic was like just this clear CD, like CD case, and just like a CD was just like a purple CD, like had no album, no liner notes, no nothing. I mean, it had to have like like the ASCAP label and all that, but other than that, it was like a basic throwaway album. But it actually had a couple of gems on it. This Childish Gambino the 31520 album kind of felt like that a little bit, but then when I started listening to it, I was like, nah, bro, like he's kind of revolutionizing what a real concept album is, and I think he's been doing that since because of the internet. But there's
Childish Gambino.
Yeah. But there's a couple of tracks on. There's a couple of tracks. Obviously, he recycled "Feels Like Summer," but since there are no names to the songs, they're only timestamps. 2419, 1238, the album with the song with 21 Savage, which I feel like 21 needs to do more stuff like that with artists like the Childish Gambinos.
He is like if you notice, him and J. Cole done got real cool lately.
He needs to do more stuff with the J. Coles and the Childish Gambinos. Period. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of hearing. Like now him and Metro they Batman and Robin, but I just tired of hearing niggas talk about killing each other. I want to hear something different. You know what I'm saying? I just want to hear something different. We're more than that.
Right.
So I was listening to that, and then Rory comes out. So shouts out to Rory. Rory is speaking of the Childish Gambino Rory connection, right? So Outlast, September 27th, and we'll probably end up rapping shortly here after I get everybody's closing thoughts. But we want to talk about like if you want to talk about how to keep the music consistent throughout the generations, take a page out of the book of Outkast. And look at what they've done with the artists that they feel like personally are the torchbearers, right? So September 27, 2014, you have the original concert in Centennial that Saturday. The opening lineup was Rory, Childish Gambino, and Kid Cudi. Rory came out there and shut it down. Childish Gambino came out there and definitely made me the biggest fan ever, and Cudi, going through some things, kind of had like a lackluster performance, but it was getting late and we was ready here. Miss Jackson, Bonds over Baghdad. Just real talk, you know what I'm saying?
Day.
But the whole point is that from that point, I've been following Rory's career, and even a little bit before that. But his newest album, Strawberry Moon, this young man is super versatile. So Strawberry Moon is like one of the best albums of the summer. So if you haven't heard Strawberry Moon, listen to Strawberry Moon. I believe it was produced by Mr. DJ, who is the de facto third member of Outkast. So once again, it's all about pulling everything out. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much showing you all where the pieces go when you listen to it. And you're like, wow, where did this guy come from? He came from what you already were listening to. So when we think that there's such a huge disconnect, and I'm going to tie everything in. So when we think there's such a huge disconnect between the content and the subject matter, it's young people out there, and we're living testaments to that. Real artistry is not dying.
No. It's just not on the radio.
You just can't be lazy about it. You know what I'm saying? You have to really, really go in. Thumbs up as much stuff as you can so it can broaden your palette. You know what I mean? If you thumbs down a lot of stuff, then you're going to get what's on the radio. And that's a little trick to how to control this algorithm.
Right. Also, that new DJ Premier LP that came out, I'm thinking that Nas was gonna have the hottest song on there. I mean, I'm biased, and it's Nas, it's Premier. Nah,
I mean that's one of the best. That's another Batman and Robin duo.
Absolutely, but the dopest song on there is the first one with Joey Badass.
I'm gonna have to listen to that on the way home.
Joey Badass made me a believer on that song. I never was in the bro, but I am today.
So. Thank you, DJ Agony. So this is more like a pause. You know what I'm saying? This is a pause because part 3, the culmination, the conclusion, and it's never a conclusion with me and you. You know what I'm saying? No. So we about to get up out of here, man. Thank you for coming. What's your final thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, like Monk said, first of all, appreciate y'all for having me out. It's like coming back to the house, man. I could be gone, but I always find my way home.
For sure.
But yeah, next Wednesday, check out the Quick 30. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the topic. Now, usually I wait till the day of to give you a topic. The topic now, top 10 hip hop artists better than Meg Thee Stallion, coming from DJ Agony. So make sure you tune into the Quick 30. Dope Enterprise on Facebook, Dope Enterprise on YouTube, Dope.Enterprise on Instagram. Also, next Friday night, me and Music Monk picking up right where we left off right here. So next Friday night, definitely tune into that. Like I said, Dope Enterprise on everything. And like I said, thank y'all for having me out, man. Team OTB brother. In the building.
Hey. Brother Rashid, what you got for us, man?
Not a whole lot. I guess, so Phoenix 1901 was the song that I was trying to think of. It's a good song. Also, there's this group called Royce Cop. It's spelled really weird, like ROYSKOPP. It's like a Finnish group or something like that. But they have a great album called... No, it's not Royce Cop. They have a great song called Remind Me. Telepop Music is the name of the... And they have an album called Genetic World, which is really interesting. And there's a particularly interesting song on that album called Another Day.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I'm Music Monk. Check out that Strawberry Moon by Rory. Hey man, proud of you, young man. Album of the summer, in my humble opinion. East Point, smoke some dank.
Old National got the skanks.